Well, I couldn't be prouder today. What a heck of a basketball game against an unbelievable opponent. Michigan State. It's tremendous. Just a tremendous basketball team, well coached, resilient, tough. And you know, I say all that, and our kids were just a little bit more. I couldn't be prouder of the toughness that our kids showed today. I'm pretty sure everybody thought that we were dead and buried. I'm pretty sure there was people wondering why I didn't call timeout during the 20-0 run. I might look back at that and think what I was thinking too, but here's what I know about my team. We play a game every day called Bulldog, and it's a game of runs, and we push it, and there's runs both ways, and it's a game where you've got to answer, and there's no half-court offense. It's just push it, push it, push it, and I just thought that we got real complacent there in the third quarter. We stopped attacking. I thought they were very aggressive, and that's why it was the way it was. Morgan drew a foul about 1 minute, maybe a minute and a half left in the third quarter, and that was the first time we'd put it on the deck and tried to get to the rim. And I thought from that moment on, we were back to our old self. Just, again, anybody that watched that game and saw our kids play, you got to respect how hard they play the game, their toughness, their resilience, their competitive fire. I mean, I've said this before and I'll say it again. God has blessed us with an unbelievable group of young ladies here at Mississippi State. What a blessing to have them here in Starkville and to have them representing us today, representing this community and this great university in the manner in which they did. It had to be a great game to watch from just a spectator's sport. It was not that much fun, I can tell you, coaching it at times, but it certainly had to be a great game for the national TV people. And again, just really, really proud of our kids. And again, congratulations to Michigan State and their staff, because they got one heck of a basketball team.
As a reminder, please raise your hand. Adam?
If each three of you ladies could answer, because I'm sure you each had a different perspective. On the last play, can you tell us what you saw from the time that Jankowska comes into front court, elevates over Morgan? Can you each give us your viewpoint from what you saw in that final sequence?
I guess when she came down, she got past whoever, she elevated over. I kind of knew it was going to be off. It was just a matter of fact of getting the rebound. So I think it was a couple, handy plays, and then I think Kayla finally got it, and she tipped it to me, and then I finally gave it to Morgan, and it was the last 2 seconds. So it was just a matter of just getting the ball.
Yeah, like she said, it was a matter of getting the ball. I mean, I remember last year when you get a rebound, and they scored and lost. So, I mean, just need the rebound. So I saw Kayla and I was like, oh, my God, I need to go get it. But she threw it in, and it was just playing hot potato, and somebody got it. I feel the same way.
Robbie?
Victoria, talk about that. After Tori hit banked in the three-pointer, you came down and shot that one, I think, and answered it. Was there any question you were going to shoot the ball whenever you got it down there?
I think I knew I was going to shoot it, but I just felt like I had enough space, and I make those shots outside the three-point line, so why not try it?
Danny Page?
Brianna, can you just talk about coming in the game, your numbers called, just being ready when you're done?
Coach always basically says the same thing. You always got to be ready whenever your name is called. So it's just a matter of just always staying ready, being ready on the bench, noticing what you got to do, what the game plan is, and just being ready to make plays. Just go out there and play.
Adam?
Hey, I'm going to add something to that, Danny. This kid's been in the gym every day. She's prepared for this moment. She hadn't, I've talked to our whole group about sometimes we can really get, and I mentioned it yesterday in the press conference, we can let these little things become these big issues that aren't really that big. And with Bree, this is who Bree is. We just got to find a way to get it out of her. But she prepared for today. She was ready for the moment, but she was ready because of her preparation. She's been in the gym shooting. She's been in there with Deanna every day. for a while now. This is what happens when you prepare for that moment.
Brianna, two-part question. Do you know how many three-pointers you would hit before today's game?
Probably 0. Oh, 2. Oh, look at that.
Okay. Now, the question, the second part, from the right wing, they're sloughing off, they're on the sand. Go ahead, Brown, take a shot. What did you see? Was there any hesitation?
No, it wasn't no hesitation. We had been running cutting game, and it was just basically the rotation. I knew I was waiting for Morgan to throw it back. I was just ready. I said, throw it back, please throw it back. So when she finally did, I just shot it. When I made it, I was, woo.
Robbie?
For any three of you, what was it like to have the crowd behind you when you got behind in that fourth quarter, but then you had that surge of momentum late and was able to win it? What was it just like to have the noise and the crowd behind you for the game?
It's amazing. Like basketball, I
7,000.
mean, it's kind of hard to keep my composure sometimes. I hear the fans, I just gotta get excited myself. But I think it gives like the opposite team like I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. It's loud in here, so it's an advantage for us.
Big
Michael.
advantage.
Brianna, as you kind of thought you never had to hit a three. You know, what made you want to take that shot when you were open there?
I guess just for the fact that I was wide open. Like I shoot threes all the time in practice, but I just never like shoot them in the game. So it was just an open opportunity. So I just had to shoot it, make the shot.
Marcus?
Morgan, just talk about the emotion that last play. You have the ball, you throw it up in the air, you jump into Dillon's arm. Just talk about what was going through your mind knowing that you guys had, punched your ticket to the Sweet 16.
It's a great feeling. My first time going to Sweet 16, and we worked so hard for this moment and for preparation today, and just a great feeling as a team. We worked so hard for it, and now it's actually paying off.
David?
Morgan, when Michigan State made that 20-point run, I mean, I know you try not to panic, but in your mind, are you thinking, oh my God, what's happening? I mean, just what's that like? How did you, I guess, what was your feeling during that, and how did you finally pull out of it?
I did panic a little bit, but I know the team feeds off me, so I had to keep my head level and listen to my coaches and let them tell me what to do so I can tell my teammates what to do. But most importantly, we had to attack. So when we started attacking, we got fouls, got calls, started making plays, and that's when we got our momentum back. We had slowed down and got out of attacking, and that made that 20-point lead there. I mean, deficit, whatever.
When Brianna shot that three-pointer, were you surprised?
Oh, no. She do it all the time in practice. When I pass to her, it's money.
So,
Can you, both these games, Friday's game and today, foul trouble really quick, out of the game. How did that affect the team's play, you think? I mean, is that something that, I know you regret it, but how did it impact the game?
For me, sitting on the bench, I guess I can see like what's going on, what'll be open when I get back out there. But most important, I got to stay out of foul trouble. I gotta keep my hands off people, get to spots quicker, get to charge instead of the block. And I got to play smarter because I know my teammates need me out there. But Jazz just need to keep focused and run the team, and she'll be okay out there when I'm on the bench.
Bob?
Brianna, I think you said you felt like the crowd was an advantage, especially that fourth quarter coming back from that run and then holding on to it late. What did you see the impact was on both sides for you guys after that?
Offensively, every time we scored, it was just a big hoorah. But even late when I had made a bad foul, on the free throw line, they were yelling so hard, my ears were ringing. So I knew I wasn't shooting the free throw, so I knew she was gonna miss at least 2 of them. I think she missed 2 out of 3? Yeah. But I heard the crowd, and the crowd was crazy, crazy good. Appreciate them all.
One more question for the players.
Victoria, just talk about your emotions getting ready to go to the Sweet 16. Just how do you feel about getting this victory?
Like Mo said, this is our first time ever doing it since we've been here, so it's a great feeling. And I think coming to next week, we'll be preparing well and focusing practice. So if we do that, we'll be pretty good in Sweet 16.
Adam, I'm sorry. You.
Yeah, I was just going to ask any of the players. In the first half, you looked like your defense forced them into some turnovers, and then Morgan mentioned the lull. But once you guys got that spark back, how much did you feel that your defense really affected them? Because I think they had 4 turnovers down the stretch.
players?
I feel like this: our defense affect our offense, and our offense affect our defense. If one going good, they both going good. So it depends on how we play on one end, in order to figure out how the other end gonna go.
Okay, thank you, ladies, and congratulations.
Okay,
Oh, we not done?
I'm not done. Steve?
Coach, if you would take us to that final timeout, what did you tell your team?
Well, how much, there was a bunch of them late. For them, we were up, when we were up 4. Yeah, and so we talked about switching everything, and I'm looking at my 6'7" freshman, and she's looking at me, and she's trying to figure out what switch everything means, even though we've been through that. And so I was really more focused with her. I felt like the rest of them would get it, but I wanted to make sure she knew if the point guard came off of a 1-5 screen, she had to 1. And the 2 doesn't beat you, so don't worry about the 2. And so you just talk to them about it. We talked about if they go try to get a quick 2 on the inbounds, we need to defend the quick 2. Once they start, you realize they're trying to run a set, it's probably for a 3. So now let's start thinking how we defend in the 3-point line. So that's what we talked about. It was just defending the 3-point line and not allowing them to. And I thought we defended it fine. Bree, is that when Bree got the foul down there in the corner? So anyway, I thought we defended it well.
David?
I know Brianna said she didn't hesitate when she shot that 3. Should she have? I mean, were you surprised that was the person to take the biggest shot of the season?
Absolutely not. I mean, I think that kid's being rewarded for her hard work. She's had some struggles this year, but great players find a way out of that. We need Bree. Our 4s answered the bell today. They went 8 for 10. Our 4s have been struggling. Her and Katera. Katera goes 3 for 3, and Bree goes 5 for 7. And that's why we score 74 points. Our 4 players. If we can get some production out of them, we're going to have some offense. And they've really been struggling. So, no, that kid was ready and prepared for that moment, and she came through.
Susie Merchant said it was kind of bizarre preparing for you guys because there's players who will play 18 minutes and no minutes the next night and kind of all over the place. What made you think Brianna was a good fit for this game? Because obviously she played a lot.
Well, I mean, her and Katera, I mean, you're just trying to go with who's hot, and, one of them gets in foul trouble, you go with the other one. But I think my staff had told me that Katera seemed tired, and, also Katera still battles that leg injury a little bit. So, look, Bree should be a good fit every night. She's got that big-time SEC frame, and it's just a matter of trying to get her, untracked, really. And, she played well last year in the NCAA tournament. So I've just been trying to impart on her, again, sometimes we create this mountain out of a molehill, as my parents used to say. And it's just not that. We can't let the little things engulf us. We're not that far from being really good, both as individual players as well as a team. And so I think for her, again, she prepared for this moment. I've seen her in the gym shooting a lot. Coach Jackson's been in there with her. So she was ready, and she came through.
Slim? Slim. Oh, Danny?
Bench outscored them 18-4, of course, Bree got 12 of that, but Taylor Nevitt hit 2 big free throws for you. Let's talk about your bench.
Well, I mean, our bench played well night before last, and I thought they played well tonight. Kayla Nevitt came in and gave us some big-time minutes. And, again, made 2 big free throws, The one thing I'd talk to Bree about is when we took the ball out of bounds, that ball needs to go to Morgan's hands. And she threw it to Victoria. Now, Victoria's a 76% free throw shooter, but Morgan's 84. And so we need to make a better decision there if we can. And, Victoria, hey, I'll put her on the line when the game's on the line every night. But you're right, Kayla made some big free throws for us down the stretch. But let me tell you, she guarded. She had to have 23 tonight for a little while. And then once we got in a little deeper foul trouble, when Dom came out, Tori had to take her. And maybe very well be the game. That kid was 5 for 13. That's one of the best players in the country. We held her to 10 points under her average. That's a heck of a job.
Hugh?
Vic, how much were you guys aware that how much they were going to try to push it in transition?
It
It seemed like your girls were ready ready and knew on the fly how
Yeah.
to handle it?
Yeah, we knew they were going to be good in transition. I thought when they made their run, we were having a hard time getting back and matching up. I thought a couple times we were jogging, a couple kids were jogging, and so, but we knew it was coming. And so I thought we handled it the first half great, but when they made their run, they were really shoving it down our throat a little bit. So, you think about getting a timeout there, but again, I think our kids play through that stuff just a lot better. And I'd rather have them late if I need them. And I just have a lot of confidence, in our players and their toughness, their resilience. If it turned out different, I'm sure y'all be wondering what in the heck I was thinking, why I didn't call timeout. But I just have a lot of confidence in our kids. I trust them.
We'll go to Robbie, and then we'll go to Michael, and then Marcus.
When you went up 13 after Victoria's 3, I think it was a 20-0 run. Seemed eerily similar to that Kentucky game in the SEC tournament when things just kind of.
Were you thinking that?
Yeah.
Golly.
Things just kind of snowballed and got out of control. What were your thoughts during that time?
I was thinking about the Kentucky game.
Did you
Again,
think did you think it was ever going to end?
I just thought if we could ever score, we'd kind of get that, we'd kind of get that glaze off our face. I was looking out there, Tori kind of had that glaze on her face, and Morgan was turning it over, and she knows she can't turn it over, and so she wears her feelings on her shoulders a little bit. Those kids care so much, they know. And so I just thought if we could just score, but we were so passive. We weren't attacking. We were just standing out there passing it around the perimeter and hoping we make a jump shot instead. And then when we went inside, our fives weren't finishing. And so it just, that's what I was thinking is if we can just score and get off the snide, we could do something.
Michael?
I think there was 25 fouls, 15 won in the game. How did that just affect the pace of how you coached with Dominique in foul trouble and following out, and then I think Morgan had 3 in the first? How did that kind of affect your play you subbed?
Yeah, I mean, it makes it challenging as a coach. That's not something you go into a ball game, hoping happens, and but you got to have a plan in your back pocket. And I almost went with Bree at the 3 and left Kayla on the bench and brought Katera back in when Dom fouled out. That entered in my mind, and I'm glad I went with Kayla because it left Bree in the position she was in when she made the big shot. But she made 2 big shots, made a driving layup and one. And then that one. So, you gotta, with this group, it's kind of like what their coach said. I mean, I got to go with my gut. A lot of times I got to go with who made a bunch of shots in practice that day or the day before. You just kind of got to have a good feel for your team. And look, I've been with this group now for a while, 2 years in running with a lot of these kids and 3 years with my junior class. I got a pretty good feel for them. And so I just, you got to make a decision. That's why, I guess that's why I'm the head coach,
Marcus?
Coach Schaefer, Coach Burton talked about how loud it was in there. And how much of a factor do you think that played down the stretch for your team to pull out this victory with the fans in there?
Look, I don't think there's any doubt we don't win that game if we're not at home. I mean, I think our fans were tremendous. I appreciate Coach Merchant's comments. I heard her make a comment about it sounded like, it was 7 in there and it sounded like 14 or 20, however many, but 70. I mean, what a tremendous compliment. And my hat's off to our fans, and I appreciate her making that comment. And again, y'all, this is what our game needs. This is what the women's game needs. The country needed to see what we've been preaching around here for a couple years now about how special this place is, about our fans, about our support, about our community, about this city, about this great university that we represent. It's really special here. And, I wish I could have shook all 7,094 of their hands and told them I wish we could have hugged every one of them's necks because they deserved it. And they pulled us through. And it was really a great atmosphere. How much fun was that for our kids? How much fun was that for y'all? I mean, look, I've been in there now 4 years. I don't know if I've ever heard it louder. And it was a great environment tonight. For those student athletes on both teams, tremendous environment. And you know what? Mississippi State and our community provided that. So my hat's off to everyone that was here.
Michael?
Vic, if Dominique and Chinway don't foul out, is Bree in the game at that point?
If Dominique, yeah, she's in the game.
Okay.
Yeah. She's in the game. You know, it's her and Katera. You know, last night it was Lacaris. You know, Friday night was Lacaris. She came in and gave us a boost. So, you know, it's just, you know, you just kind of got to go with your gut certain times.
Coach, this is probably a terrible breach of protocol here, but I'm gonna ask you about UConn. So just you're not necessarily playing them, but I got a pretty good chance you will be. Can you talk about going to that environment, what that means to the program, kind of what your attitude is for that?
You know, I really haven't given it much thought. You know, they're obviously really good. You know, they're number one in the country, got great players, tremendous coach. So probably going to enjoy today, and I'll get back to you on that.
2 years ago, you were in the same spot after a loss to South Florida in the NIT, and now you're here with all the fans behind you, and you can enjoy it. You got a smile on your face. How is the program? How has this changed over the last 2 years when you've gotten to this point?
Hey, first of all, there wasn't near this many people in here. You know, it's really special. I mean, you can do this your whole life and never get to this point and be really good. And, you know, it's really rewarding. You know, for me, I just appreciate the trust and confidence that not only my parents of my players that they've given me with their daughters, but I appreciate the trust and confidence that Scott and our administration, our president have bestowed upon us in leading this program. And, you know, for me, I'm a people pleaser. I feel obligated when somebody trusts me with something or asks me to do a job. I feel pretty obligated to do it. And just kind of how I was raised, you know, in that military background of my father and my mother. So, you know, I feel like that, you know, we're doing what we're supposed to do. We're doing what we said we were going to do when we came here. Did a lot of people think it could happen? I don't know. I know not many people thought it would happen this fast, but it's just so rewarding. And so, you know, as much as the wins and the success that we're having on the floor, for me, it's that packed arena. That there's so much satisfaction in that, and in being able to sell a program to a community, to share our kids, share our student athletes with a community, and let them embrace them and love them. And to me, that's what it's all about. I mean, these kids and the experiences they're having right now, these are lifetime experiences. These are lifelong experiences. They're going to last for a lifetime. You won't ever forget today. As a student athlete, as a coach, maybe not as a fan, you'll never forget today. And if you were in the arena today, you won't forget that you were there that day when we blew a 13-point lead and let somebody have a 20-0 run on us and got down 7 and came back, fought back, and won the game. You won't forget that. And, you know, that just, it brings up, not only does it make a university community feel well and the 22,000 students we have, but our administration, our faculty, and then the entire Mississippi State alumni. I mean, how can you not be proud of these kids, what they're doing? And hey, feel a part of it, because you are. You helped us win that game today. If you were in the arena today, you're a part of that victory. So it's really special, really special.
We've got time for one more question.
I got all day.
Okay, thank you,
Well,
Coach.
Bob, I'll run this deal.
You talked about how much the crowd meant, specifically after that run, the Michigan State run. Did it help to kind of get out of that, you know, kind of sense of lethargy and get motivated again, I guess? Not motivated, but
Yeah, I mean, again, I just thought if we could ever score, you know, we would kind of relax again. And I think if I'm not mistaken, we hit a 3. It went from 7 to 4. And it got to 64-60, if I'm not mistaken. And there was a timeout. And I looked at him and I said, hey, all we got to do is, we're not going to win a game if we don't defend. That's number one. We got to stop them now, because they were running it down our throat a little bit and they were hurting us rebounding. I said, if we can just defend a little and score, I said, but we will not win the game if we don't score. We've got to score down here, and we've got to get back to getting aggressive and we've been on our heels. And so I told him, I said, we've got to attack. That zone was so spread out. I said, let's just think of it as dribble drive and get in there and attack a little bit and see if we can't create a little bit. If you notice, Tori took a couple drives to the right. She drove it right, and she didn't make either one of the shots, but she started attacking a little bit. And then I just went back to our bread and butter cutting game. It got us some movement going. And then we started kind of getting a little bit more movement, a little more aggressiveness. So I just, again, imparted and pleaded with them, hey, we're not going to win the game if we don't score, but we got to get some stops and get some transition. That's where we can get some easy stuff, is if we can get some stops and get out and get in transition. So that's what we talked about, and I thought our kids really did a good job with that after that. We really got aggressive again. I think we were in the bonus pretty quick in the fourth quarter, if I'm not mistaken.